Well, good morning. It actually is Labor Day. I hope you're having fun. I hope the weather's going to be good where you are so that you can maybe do something outside. And for those up in the north, I know as September hits, it starts to get cooler. So enjoy the weather. Here down in South Florida, it very rarely ever gets cool. But anyway, today we're going to do the presentation. And what I did with my AI, I said, okay, give me an animal that can go back historically, and there was no time issue on how far back it could go, that no one would generally know. So this is what it came up with. And the name of it, I'm going to spell it because I will destroy the name. Chalicothere. I guess you might say Chalicothere. Chalicothere. It's interesting where they come up with these names. Why don't they make them simple like an old horse? But that's not my decision. Okay, moving on here. While dinosaurs often steal the prehistoric spotlight, the Cenozoic era, which followed their reign, and again, this was after all, unfortunately, the dinosaurs perished. And I know we generally think it was a big, asteroid that hit in more or less in the Gulf of Mexico, south of there though, and it threw up such a plume of everything and covered the sun. I mean, I can go on and on and on, that they're trying to say that was the demise of the dinosaurs. Also, those that would be relatively close to where that happened, because when something comes like that big and hits the earth, it's almost like an atomic nuclear bomb. So, those that were close would have perished, immediately almost. And again, if it did do something with changing the world that they lived in, they potentially could not live there anymore. But after this, the Cenozoic era, which followed their reign, was home to many of very bizarre and fascinating mammals. Among the lesser known of those creatures is the Chalicothere, an animal that defied easy categorization and whose fossilized remains puzzled early paleontologists. At first glance, the Chalicothere might seem like a creature of a myth, a perplexing blend of horse's head, the sloping back of a hyena, the long, powerful arms of a gorilla, and feet armed not with hoofs, but with formidable claws. And you can see if you look at the picture that that's exactly what we have. You can maybe see it a little bit better there. These are toed ungulates related to modern horses, rhinos, and tapirs, roamed across North America, Eurasia, and Africa for an impressive span of time, from the middle Eocene to the early Pleistocene, which is roughly 46 million to 2 million years ago. And believe it or not, I wasn't born then, or I wasn't around then. I know I look like it. I just turned 76. Not too exciting, but I'm still here, and that's what we like to do. What truly set this creature apart from their relatives was their unique anatomy. Instead of hooves adapted for running across open plains, they possessed large, sharp claws. And again, as you said, you can see it on the picture there. This feature led to early confusion among scientists, with some initially mistaking their remains for those of a giant pangolin. I'll probably have to do a presentation on the pangolin, because you're probably saying, I don't know what the pangolin is. Good point. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up. There were two main subfamilies of this animal, each with its own distinct lifestyle. I'm not even gonna say it. The name of the other, like the well-known Moropus, had front and hind limbs of a more equal length. It is believed they were browsers, using their claws to pull down branches to feed on leaves and twigs and fruit in a variety of woodland and savanna environments. You know, it does look like a horse, and I love horses, so I can love this animal too. And even if it didn't look like a horse, I could still love this animal. The other group, the Chalicothere, to which the genus Chalicotherium belongs, were even more specialized. They possessed disproportionately long and powerful forelimbs, while their hind limbs were shorter and stouter. This physique suggests they spent a significant amount of time rearing up on their hind legs and perhaps even sitting to browse from trees. I did pick up an image, which I don't even have here, that did show a different, slightly different looking animal in different sizes. And yes, the larger of the two was literally reaching up into a tree. It's just, you're always afraid when you're pulling images that, you know, you might, let's say you use 4 AI programs and, you know, you can get images. They could all be different for the same animal. So you got to be real careful. And I get it that, you know, are you getting what the animal actually looked like when you're talking about millions of years ago? Obviously, there was no one around to take pictures. So a lot of it has to be, and I'm going to talk about fossils in a minute, but, you know, there's a lot of interpretation, I guess you might say. Due to the size and shape of their claws, it is thought that they walked on their knuckles, much like a modern-day gorilla, to keep the claws from becoming blunted. Very interesting. Their teeth provide further clues to their lifestyle. Unlike the grinding molars of grazing animals, the teeth of this animal were low-crowned and suited for a diet of soft vegetation. Studies of tooth wear have indicated a preference for leaves, stems, and soft fruits and seeds. I still find this very interesting. Despite their widespread distribution and long existence, their fossils are relatively uncommon. That's why, and again, when you're pulling images and when fossils are discovered and there's enough of them, they can get a consensus. And I don't mean, you know, in the same location. I'm just saying here, there, and around the world. If there would be some consensus where they could really do a good image of what they look like. But this, and because they were uncommon, it suggests that they were likely solitary animals, unlike the herding behavior seen in many of their relatives like horses. So that does in itself make it a little harder, since, again, there aren't multiple fossils to put together this, say, well, yeah, this is the same animal, and we can now depict what the animal looked in real life. This animal stands as a remarkable example of evolutionary experimentation. A mammal that carved out a unique niche by combining the traits of different animals. Its peculiar anatomy serves as a reminder that the history of life on Earth is filled with creatures far stranger and more wonderful than we often imagine. So, you see, again, and I always have this awful feeling, because I know at my age, a lot of people younger than I pass away. A lot of people my age, a little older, pass away. And, of course, some live up into their 90s, 80s, 90s, and even hundreds. There's just no gauging as to, your heredity and your makeup as to how long you're going to live. But anyway, I want to wish you a very happy Labor Day, and I hope you enjoy the day. What I am going to do now is I'm going to pull another topic that an animal links appropriately to Labor Day. And I'm excited to see what my results are. And again, I'll be doing that presentation probably as soon as I prepare it, which would be probably this afternoon. Anyway, I appreciate your support. Subscribing to the channel helps, as you know. I know you're tired of content creators saying that every time, but it does make a difference. And I think, just the last thing I'll say in reference to this is I love what I do. And it isn't where you say, well, I'm doing it because it's making me rich. No. But it gives you, especially at my age, retired from the generator business, a daily job, in so many words. So, you watching them, you liking or disliking, will definitely have it where I have a job. So thank you. Again, have a wonderful holiday weekend, and hopefully I'll see you later this afternoon.